Once upon a time, in a vibrant village nestled along the banks of the mighty Zambezi River, there lived a young girl named Kundai. She was known throughout the village for her boundless curiosity and dreams as vast as the sky. Unlike other children who were content with playing simple games by the river, Kundai would often sit under the Great Baobab tree, a towering giant that had stood for generations. She would gaze up at its high branches, watching as birds built their nests and monkeys leaped gracefully between its limbs. What fascinated her the most, however, were the sweet fruits that hung from the highest branches, far beyond the reach of any child in the village. The elders spoke of the legendary fruit, saying that those who tasted it would gain wisdom and strength beyond their years. Kundai was enchanted by these stories and yearned to taste the fruit for herself. Every evening, as the sun painted the sky with shades of orange and gold, she would whisper to the tree,
"One day, I will reach your highest branch. One day, I will taste your fruit."
The villagers, however, laughed at her ambition. "It is impossible, Kundai," they would say.
"Even the strongest men in the village have never climbed to the top. The trunk is too wide, and the branches too high. You are just a small girl."
But Kundai was not discouraged. She was determined to prove that nothing was impossible with perseverance and effort. The very next morning, she approached the Great Baobab, stretched her arms, and attempted to climb. Her fingers barely found a grip on the rough bark, and within moments, she slipped and tumbled back onto the ground. The villagers who had gathered around chuckled, shaking their heads. "See? It cannot be done." Yet, instead of feeling ashamed, Kundai dusted herself off and tried again. And again. Each time she failed, she learned something new. She realized that the tree's bark had hidden grooves that she could use as footholds. She discovered that her fingers grew stronger the more she practiced. She watched how monkeys leaped and gripped branches, mimicking their technique. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. The villagers continued to mock her at first, but as time passed, their laughter softened into admiration. They saw her dedication, her bruises, her unyielding spirit. Soon, some children joined her in practice, eager to learn from her persistence. Even some of the elders nodded in approval, remembering their own childhood dreams. One evening, as the village prepared for the harvest festival, Kundai felt ready. She stood before the Great Baobab, took a deep breath, and began her climb. Step by step, she ascended higher than ever before. The villagers held their breath as they watched her silhouette against the setting sun. Higher and higher she went, until, at last, she reached the topmost branch. With a triumphant laugh, she plucked a fruit, its sweet aroma filling the air. She had done it! The village erupted in cheers as Kundai carefully made her way down. When she finally touched the ground, she held up the fruit for all to see.
"Nothing is impossible if you believe and work hard,"
she declared. The villagers no longer saw her as just a small girl but as a symbol of resilience and determination. From that day on, the Great Baobab was no longer just a tree, it became a symbol of strength and perseverance. Parents told their children about Kundai's climb, reminding them that dreams, no matter how high, could be reached with courage and effort. And as for Kundai, she continued to dream and climb, knowing that every step forward was a step toward new heights. Her story became a legend, inspiring generations to come. If you have enjoyed this story, consider subscribing. Like it and hit the notification bell so as not to miss any future issues. Watch out for the next compelling tale.